Welcome back, dear viewers. We have our first guest for today, Ms. أ.بسمة السعد. She's a rapid transformational therapist and transformational breath facilitator. Welcome, Ms. أ.بسمة.
Thank you for inviting me, and it's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you very much for being with us. We talked so much before the episode started, and we were talking about the RTT, the Rapid Transformational Therapy. If you could please tell us a little bit about it.
Okay, so Rapid Transformational Therapy is a therapy that combines a lot of modalities. It was actually created by a British therapist called Marissa Pearce, which combines like NLP, neuro programming, CBT, cognitive behavior, hypnosis, and many other modalities. And it usually works with our belief system and our inner programming. So if I give you an example of if we are born in this world as babies, in a clean slate, let's say, no programs, nothing. And then we go through school, and then we also are brought up in a certain family dynamic. And that all affects how we see the world and what beliefs we come up with about ourselves and our interaction with the world. With time, as we become adults, it starts to affect us, and these beliefs are like outdated. Okay. So what happens is there comes a time where these beliefs hold you back, and now it's time for us to update these beliefs and create new ones that will motivate you to make like positive change or reach certain goals.
Wow, that's amazing. Does this also include when people travel abroad and they have cultural shock, or people who come to our country and they don't understand the behavior behind some certain actions? Does this all relate to the way we were brought up?
Yes, of course, that relates to it, because different cultures have different belief systems and programming. So, for example, if you go to India, they're known for having spicy food, right? But if you bring someone from elsewhere and who tries this, he will say it's so spicy. But it's not what he's used to. That's why. It's what we learn or acquire or imprint even from our parents as our own belief. So if let me just simplify it a bit for you. So imagine your phone or your computer starts slowing down, or let's say it starts lagging. What does it need? It needs an update. So what we do in RTT is we update the mind, the system within you, that creates like the beliefs and the programming that affects your decision making, your self-confidence, and all aspects of your life, your mood as well.
Wow, it's very deep, and I have a lot of questions, and I told you before we started. Does this also mean that we have to know the reason behind these actions? For example, it is well known in the Gulf countries, and especially in Kuwait, if my father walks in, I get up automatically. I was never taught the reason why. I know it's out of respect, but what does this mean or signify? We don't know, but it's out of respect. If I go and do that somewhere else, for example, in the States, that would mean something maybe different. Do we need to know and understand the reasons behind our actions, or we just believe these are the actions of our traditions?
I mean, this is a system that you grew up to see, and it is what's familiar to you. So without thinking, it is your default action when your dad comes in.
Right.
So for example, sometimes there are days where you drive to work and you just feel like, oh, how did I get here? It's just automatic.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
So this is your default because it's what's familiar, and usually when I do sessions, we work with the things that are default but are hindering you. They're not actually supporting you. And usually that part is in your subconscious mind.
Okay, and we will talk about the subconscious, but if you could tell us a little bit about your journey before we go on furthermore with the subconscious bit.
Okay, so I started, so let's say 14 years ago, I lost my dad, and
so
he passed away, and 4 months after that, I had my first child. So for me, I was going through a lot of different emotions and experiencing change. And at that time, I wanted to find answers for what I was going through. So I started to research, I took courses, I read so many books, I saw specialists. So I really dove into this personal development world, and I had a passion for it. I really loved it. I saw the effect, and I really took interest in it. But especially the part where it talks about your mind and how it works and why we think our thoughts, why we are in such behavioral patterns, why we react a certain way. And that led me to find RTT. And then I took the first session, and after my first session, and it was with someone in England, and when I took the first session, I just felt like there's something within me that shifted. And after that, and I saw the effect on me because it was deeper than any other session I've taken before. And I decided to like take the professional route. And I contacted the school, and then after a year, I got certified.
Wow, that's amazing. So you were already a therapist before that?
No, I wasn't actually.
Oh, okay.
I was just, I mean, I was working, I was a mom, it was just the routine life. I wasn't interested. I never thought I needed to know this information until I went through circumstances myself. And that's life, right?
It is, it is. And it's so strange and beautiful how life takes you through a path you've never thought of before. And if you could tell us a little bit, Basma, about the difference between conscious and subconscious with the, let's say, examples.
Okay, so our brain has two parts. The part, there's the one part is the conscious mind. So the conscious mind is the part of your mind that you use to answer me when I ask you what time is it, or how hot is your tea, things like that, like moment to moment. Whereas the subconscious mind, and it's also usually called the emotional mind, and that part of your brain is different. So if I give you a piece, let's say a piece of cake, and you try it and you say, oh my God, that takes me back to my childhood. That piece of information was retrieved from your subconscious mind. Or for example, you listen to a certain song, and then you say, it reminds me of summer of 2000. That piece is retrieved from your subconscious. So think about the subconscious mind as the vault or the safety box that has all your memories, all your traumas, all your beliefs and programming, all your life experiences basically, and how it will affect and how it affects your life choices.
Okay.
And because that has to do with emotions, emotions are always stronger than logic.
Right, and speaking of emotions, thank you for explaining this, by the way, it was beautiful. How can we navigate through or deal with the negative emotion?
Okay, so negative emotions are something that every person experiences, and it is very normal. It's part of being human to experience negative emotions. But to sum it up or like simplify it, I would say that we can do it in 4 steps. So the first step is to acknowledge the emotion. Some people may feel different, like a mixture of emotions at the same time. So acknowledging it, I mean list the emotion. What is it? Is it fear? Is it anger? Is it, list them, so acknowledge them. Step 1. Step 2 is feel the emotion. So just drop in your body, feel the emotion, and if it has any physical symptoms, where do you feel it in your body? Drop into your senses. And that is very important. I always tell my clients, you need to feel to heal.
Wow, that's
This
beautiful.
is very important because we are allowing the feeling to, like, let's say, transition. So you feel it. And then the third part would be to express it. So give it space to be expressed. When I say express it, of course, I say express it in a healthy way.
Okay.
So there are many different types of expressions. You can choose whatever suits you, but make sure you express it. And the fourth one, the last one, is to accept and allow. And you will only reach this stage when you actually feel and express. So I'll just repeat it. So acknowledge, feel, and then express, and then you accept. And also part of, if you would allow me, part of the feeling part is sometimes people tend not to feel their feelings, and then they repress them or hold on to them, and that affects your even physical health sometimes. So some people will tell me I'm stressed, I'm always stressed, I have headaches, I have shoulder pain. This is all symptoms of emotions being repressed. So and also I am a breath facilitator, as I told you earlier, and breathing really helps with repressed emotions. It releases trauma stored in the body.
That's amazing.
And one last point about because I really love emotions and how it works. It's very important for people to know how to do it.
Oh yes, please.
And I created a free online course that anyone can see. It's about 40 minutes long. It just helps you understand why you're feeling what you're feeling, what you can do to actually express and deal with it.
Okay, that's amazing, and we want to thank you for that last bit when you said there's a free online course that people can actually go and benefit from. So that's like you've volunteered for everyone to just spread this message. Yes, because I found with my clients and many other people, they have really difficulty dealing with their emotions. So what happens when you don't express or you don't, let's say, address the emotion, it will be trapped within you. And you will reach a stage where you will have an outburst at the wrong time, in the wrong situations, and people usually suffer, like people around you suffer, because that outburst will come on your loved ones. Like on your kids, it's not their fault or...
Yeah, exactly.
So speaking of the clients you've mentioned, we were talking, you and I, about you need to seek help if the situation hinders your progress. So in what cases people can come and seek your help?
So everyone's different and every case is different, but usually people who come to me is because they are now experiencing stress or anxiety, or people are went through loss and grief or breakup, things like that. And a lot of people come for a confidence issue. A lot of people come because they're experiencing change, like transition from one part of their life. For example, students moving to workplace, getting into marriage, things like that. But usually the most common I see is keeping up with the stress of today's life. Okay. This is mainly. So anyone who actually wants more in their life or feels stuck and wants to have positive change in their life would be an ideal client. Okay. And Ms. Basma, since we are now in the holy month of Ramadan, we want to know what can we do to benefit, or what can people do to benefit from this month, since we need to have better thoughts, better habits. It's a month of forgiveness, of giving, of all of that. Every Ramadan we tell ourselves we want to be better than the Ramadan before, right? So what are your pieces of advice for people in the holy month of Ramadan? So I think Ramadan is a very good opportunity for people to connect with themselves and really self-reflect on their life. It's an opportunity to really think about what belief systems or what new programs you would like to have in your life. So start to install them, especially that during the day we spend a lot of time with our thoughts. So make your thoughts like kind, build new systems, and then also don't miss the opportunity to feel grateful for the relationships and the love around you. Create those really good memories to keep them in your subconscious mind, because you need them. And also Ramadan is all about like being with other people, doing good, communicating. So it's a really, really great opportunity to even invest in your loving relationships as well. That's beautiful. Thank you very much, Ms. أ.بسمة السعد. Do you have any last word before we wrap this up? No, I just want to say thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure. Thank you very much. Of course, we have a lot more questions, but unfortunately, we have come to the end of our episode. We want to thank you for this informative interview. Thank you. Thank you. Dear viewers,